Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Open Equine Market Commentary for the week of July 30th. My name is Toby Gennaro from Trade with Precision, and we'll just be talking through some of the U.S. indices, the foreign currencies, and then possibly some commodities today to give you an idea of what's going to be happening here in the upcoming week. Okay, so getting into the charts here as we normally do, and starting off here with the ES, just looking at some of the big caps, the S&P 500, and starting on some of the higher time frames. You know, you guys are recalled we've been on the monthly chart here for the last 2 months, looking at this this setup candle in the buy zone, and we've only got another closeout. We only have another 2 days for a closeout on this next monthly candle right here, which would be the end of the session tomorrow. So right now we've got a nice break of that bullish candle in the buy zone. It looks like if the market can hang in where it's at, we're probably going to get another bullish candle there at the break of that high, which is going to be a very bullish sign that we're more than likely going to be moving, you know, back up into that 1420 level and possibly beyond. So going down to the daily chart, you can see we're in an obvious uptrend. We got the 200, the 50, the 20, and the 10 period moving averages all in alignment, fanning out to the upside. You can see we've got kind of a scrappy trend here, but we've had you know, a number of run-ups and kind of creating this channel right here. And just this is actually what the first, second, third pullback, and so you know, right here we're at the top of this channel, so not really looking to get long here just yet. We'd be looking for a pullback at least into the buy zone in the 10 and 20 period, and usually it's we haven't really been getting good setup candles in the buy zone. It's been coming down below that, almost back down to the you know, the 50 period before moving back up. So really kind of a channel trade setup going on here, and usually at the bottoms here we've been getting some divergence along like the 60 and the 30-minute charts, which has really been giving you the signal that the market's ready to move back up to the top of the channel there. As we move down to like the 480 chart and the 240, as you can see, we have a lot of extension right here away from the buy zone. So we wouldn't be looking to get long till we at least get a pullback into that buy zone around that 1355 level, and then more than likely we'll probably get, you know, a move lower than that based on what the historical price action here is telling us within this channel. Now looking at the 240 chart, we got the same thing. Really wouldn't be looking to get long here until we can get a pullback into that buy zone and then look for a setup candle. And as you can see on the daily chart, haven't really been getting a lot of great setup candles in the buy zone, but we've been getting them kind of below the buy zone. So here we got a nice one right there that was pretty much in the buy zone, but right here definitely below, and then again here below. And so there have been a couple of false moves in the middle of the pattern, so you have to be careful about that. But the trend flow setups have been you know, been pretty solid in looking at this trend. So keep an eye out on those. Usually on these pullbacks, you can look for some divergence that'll kind of give you an idea of where these bottoming structures are setting up on the 60 and 30-minute charts. And so keep an eye out for those, and then couple those with a nice trend flow setup. If you can get a nice bullish candle at the bottom here, along with that divergence, that's been a pretty good setup to get you in pretty close to the bottom of that range, and then take a move up to the top. So keep in mind, you know, we're in the summer, just getting into early August. You know, many folks around the world are taking vacation, so volume's going to be down. Markets are typically choppy, and won't be back into full swing until the September-October timeframe. So we do have elections coming up in November here in the U.S., and typically you get a very bullish market around elections, and that's going to depend on, you know, which one of the candidates, Republican or Democrat, are looking most positive. So got a number of things news-wise that'll come into play here, but in just looking at the technicals, we're definitely bullish on the markets, and just looking for some of these technical setups on the pullbacks to figure out where to get long. So that's kind of the outlook on the on some of the large caps. And moving over to the small caps as we normally do, looking at the Russell 2000 charts. You know, something similar here on the monthly chart as we're looking at on the ES. Got that nice bullish candle in the buy zone there. We're getting a little bit of an indecisive candle. This is going to close out the same tomorrow, and we'll kind of see where that's at. But as we move to the daily chart, we do have some lower highs and lower lows in place on the Russell that are a little different, you know, than what we're seeing on some of the ES futures. So what we really want to see here before getting long the Russell is really looking for a higher low, and then a move and a break back up, you know, beyond that high of, you know, 798, right around that 800 level. Because right now we're kind of in a trend here that's moving to the downside, even though we haven't necessarily put in a lower low below this level right here of say 752. So overall, still an uptrend, but right here technically there's a change of trend here on the daily chart, which which can be significant. We're seeing the same thing here on the 480 chart: lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So we'll probably need to see a pullback here and some kind of a reversal structure on some of these other intermediate time frames to give us a push in the upward direction. Keep in mind that the S&P, the big caps can move different from the small caps, with regard to the fact that people might just be getting out of small cap stocks and looking to move into more safer investments like some of the large caps that are part of the S&P 500. So keep that in mind. I know these do trend a lot the same, but that's not always the case. So we always want to be looking and paying attention to the technicals to see where the market is leading us. So for right now, looking for that pullback structure, and probably looking for some divergence on some of the intermediate time frames, and looking for some kind of a bottoming structure, at least getting in a higher low, and then looking for a push up above this 798 level. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that in the next week or so, and see how that's shaping up. But we definitely need a reversal of this downtrend, or this change in trend that's occurring right here all the way on the daily chart. And so if we can more than likely get above that 807 level, that's a good sign. And then putting in a higher low and then starting to move higher will then give us a change of trend. Okay, so that's what we're looking at on the Russell. And just taking a look at a foreign currency pair here on the Aussie dollar. Looked at this one last week as well, and got a nice long trade in last week off of this nice trend here on the daily chart. So we've got the moving averages getting into alignment here. The 50, the 20, the 10, the 200 is still moving across here, looking to get into alignment as well. But we can obviously see this succession here of higher highs, higher lows, getting some deeper pullbacks here. But again, pullbacks are pretty close right in there amongst that buy zone on the 10 and 20 period moving average. Not getting great candle setups in there, but nevertheless, still some predictable price action to work with. Looking down here on the 480-minute chart, again, we've got the moving averages in alignment. Got some extension away from that buy zone. So not looking to get long right here. We're pretty much at the top of this range. So really looking for a pullback into the buy zone before we start getting long here again. And then on the 240-minute chart, same thing, a little overextension. Got a bearish candle rejecting price there. Again, looking for a move back and a pullback into this zone. Then looking for some of these levels like around that 103 level to potentially get long. If you move down to some of the lower time frames like the 120, the 60, the 60 and the 30, you'll start to see some divergence with this most recent higher high here. So more than likely we're going to be expecting and anticipating a little deeper pullback, possibly back into some of these levels, like right around that that 103.8 level, possibly even that 103.4 level. So keep an eye out for the Aussie dollar, good uptrend there, and just look for a little steeper pullback into the buy zone on the daily chart and on that 480 chart, and then start to look for some of your levels there in terms of when to get long. Once again, the lineup there for the week on some of the U.S. indices and a foreign currency pair for you to take a look and see if you can find some of the trade setups there for this week. But again, thanks for watching the Open Equity market commentary, and we do look forward to speaking to you again next week on the Market Update.